This is going to be a very lively, spirited discussion dahil lahat po nito mga kasama ko rito ay nagsusulat, nagmamatsyag at pinapanood itong takbo ng ating halalang 2013. Umpisahan ko from my nearest position down the line. Of course, we all know former Senator Joey Lina, who spends his day mostly taking care of the national treasure known as the Manila Hotel, but writes also for the Manila Bulletin.
That's correct.
It's good to see you again, sir. Okay. In the middle is Jarius Bondok. Jarius and I would judge public relations contests together and look at how the others are doing jobs. But his more interesting job is as the columnist of the Philippine Star. And I love your long columns, especially when you have a good discussion. It's nice to meet Professor Rene Azurin, who teaches at the University of the Philippines, the MBA program there, of course, but he would like us to know him also as a writer for a columnist, I presume, Professor, for Business World. And a pleasure to have you with us. Siguro po ang una nating tanong ay spend as much time as we are allowed here. Your impressions about the election. There have been various problems. Probably the focus of the question, what's the most outstanding problem, repetitive problem that you've heard today tungkol sa election ito, Senator Lina?
Well, as predicted, there will be some problems with the PICOS, but by and large, because there are 78,000 precincts, if the error is only confined to a few, then it's either we give the COMELEC 95, 90, 85, 80. So it depends on what will be the total picture after all is said and done, until all the candidates who won the elections are proclaimed. Then we can make a good evaluation
so this
of what
time,
really happened.
This early hours right after we close the elections should be the interesting part. Any election?
Yan. Yun ang tama. No, ha? Yung pagka magbibilangan na, ano na yung nangyayari at sino yung nanalo. And then, let's go back. Ano yung mga pagkakamali pa para sa ganon maging orderly and peaceful ang election. Of course, ang dami ng reports of election violence, no? Election-related, violence-related cases. But as I said, let us look at the total picture. Kasi sa media naman, kadalasan ang naibabalita yung mga exciting na pangyayari like may nagkabarilan o may presence of armed men and all that. But yung kabuuan, yun ang dapat ang tingnan natin and compare it to the previous election. Of course, ideal,
wala tayong babalita.
Walang aberya,
Okay.
walang violence, walang glitches yung makina. That's ideal. But I hope that we reach that point that there will be very few problems.
Okay.
No?
Before Jarius and Professor Azurin answer, nagbabago ba ang nervyos ng kandidato ngayon na automated? Ay, alam ba, kandidato ka, di ba? Binaantay mo yung eleksyon, yung balita. Iba ba yung nervyos noon o yung nervyos? Let's say, pareho lang.
I think generally, again, yun ang aking pananaw. Generally, ang mga kandidato ay mas kampante ngayon.
Okay.
Okay, because automated nga ang election. But meron namang may iba namang nangyayari like mas maraming bilihan ng boto ngayon, no? Sa report na natatanggap ng NAMPREL at saka iba pang organizations na nagmamatsyag, talagang pervasive, massive ang vote buying reports, no?
Okay.
Yan I think sa dahilan na mukhang mahirap nang dayain yung election process. Kaya bago pa lang dumating sa bilangan, doon na sila gumagawa ng paraan nila.
I'd like to go to Jarius before I go to a news break and get Professor Azurin's answer. Jarius, what seems to be yung pabalik-balik na report o na naman matyagan mong naging problema nitong election na to?
Well, may mga nire-report na mga mechanical or physical glitches, yung nung hardware, yung voting machines, yung precinct count optical scanners, Pero for me ito mga outward problems, Pero the problem remains na hindi na check kung matino yung software nito, yung source code. Kasi kailan lang ni-reveal naman ng COMELEC na nasa kanila na pala yung source code. nung Huwebes lang nitong just a few days ago, when the COMELEC by law should have made that public 3 months before election
Ito ba yung
day.
pinoproblema ni Dick Gordon? Ito ba yung sinasabi niya?
Yes, sir. Oo, kasi itong source code kasi, ito yung basis kung paano gagana yung PICOS. Kung paano siyang magbibilang, kung paano niyang kikilalanin muna yung genuine ballot, paano niyang bibilangin, itatali, at itatransmit. Ngayon, kung hindi yan subok ng mga eksperto, tsaka ng mga partido, hindi natin alam kung yung bilis na mangyayari ng pagbigay sa atin ng resulta, mabilis nga pero may daya naman.
Okay.
Or may aberya.
Okay, I think I have a minute here to get Professor Azurin's assessment. What seems to be ang recurring problem na naririnig niyo pa, Professor?
Well, I've been a long critic of the automated election system. Ngayon, from all indications, the report of glitches, irregularities, seem to be worse now. Indication, no? Because it's not yet closed. Seem to be worse now than it was in 2010. No? And we have still to get to the closing of the polls where you will have transmission, which we expect even more problems, no? Because there are no digital signatures. No? But basically, as Jarius pointed out, these are problems on the surface. No? The fundamental problems remain, which, like the absence of the source code, non-use of digital signatures, non-validation of the accuracy of the machine, use of rewritable CF cards, etc. And the removal of all the security protocols essentially makes it impossible for us to have access to the count, no? And makes it impossible for us to validate or authenticate election results. No?
Okay.
Therefore, my position is, which is what our position is ever since, is that this is a invalid and illegitimate election. The results are null and void because of the serious violations of COMELEC of provisions in the poll automation law, which make the whole process non-transparent.
Okay. You were explaining to me, Senator Lina, that the Board of Canvassers, the National Board of Canvassers, they, by law, they will convene, although hindi pa po nagsasara ang election ngayon, ano, ha? So, natural. Okay, we were just beginning to warm up, actually, to a topic. Despite the fact that there have been pluses for the automated system, let's talk about that. There have been downsides, there have been problems. What do you see, Senator Lina? What is the alternative to all these complaints? What do you think, as both a former politician and a citizen of this country? Ano nakikita niyo po?
Well, I think the case is pending now before the Supreme Court. So, and then the source code is already with the COMELEC. And various groups are very interested in finding out what is this.
Is this an
source
acid
code?
Is this an acid test again for the?
Well, I think so. I mean, a lot of things will come out after this evaluation of the source code. And I hope that this matter is laid to rest as soon as possible, because if there's a lingering doubt with regards to the outcome of the election, then the entire credibility of the election will be put in question, and that will affect the way people will perceive elections as not a reliable way of choosing leaders in this country, both national and local. So, but as I said, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Okay, there are surveys being conducted by several organizations. Even these organizations have been put in question as manipulating or massaging the results of the survey. But if everyone is a suspect, then what do we do? I mean,
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? If the survey jives with the result of the election, then the people will say, maybe there's nothing wrong with the process. So I will hold the judgment until the evaluation of the source code and the result of the election itself.
I'd like to pursue this point with Jarius at saka si Professor Sagun. Jarius, nabanggit mo habang tayo ay nakagap kanina na mula pa noong 2010, medyo na medyo you were on the watch, on the lookout. Pinapatikos mo na nga itong paraan na ito. Has your view changed? Or have the issues of 2010 been addressed here in 2013?
Hindi kasi ang nangyayari pa rin ngayon, the issue remains na hindi public yung counting eh. Kasi dapat talaga ang natin, in any democratic election, it should be secret balloting but public counting. Dapat nakikita natin yung proseso ng pagbibilang. Hindi natin nakikita dahil nasa computer yung pagbibilang tapos hindi nga pinakita sa atin yung proseso kung tama ito o hindi. Source code review will start, I'm sure, after the elections. Yung mga interesado rito. Mare-review yan if the COMELEC will not impose again mga impossible conditions. And then it will take about 3-4 months siguro at pinakamabilis na yon. So by August, September, malalaman natin kung mabilis talaga magagawa ito, kung matino itong source code o hindi. Kung hindi matino yan, just imagine, laking gulo niya, no?
Can imagine. Ngayon, Professor Sagon, I know your stand on the automation, will we ever find a system that we will be comfortable and credible and we will agree that this is the system? Do you think we will ever, I know any computerized system has its loopholes, its shortcomings, its glitches. Do you think, in your view, magkakaroon po ng any system na magkakasundo-sundo tayo na walang doubts ito?
Actually, all we've been asking is for the COMELEC to follow the law, to follow the security safeguards that is specified in the poll automation law. No? Now, the question is, it's there. Why don't you follow it? No? And for example, the source code, what they did was just a photo op. No? They presented the CD, and they put it in the vault. How do we know what is in that CD? Secondly, we don't know that what is in that CD is what is in the PCOS machines that was deployed wherever. No? And there should have been a process for determining whether what was reviewed, and it has not been reviewed, is what is in the PCOS machine. No?
Okay, I apologize for calling you by another name, Rosalind, but you're right. No? I'm trying to find out from our discussion, sistema ba, kultura ba, or is it multi-layered? What do you think?
Sistema muna. Kung tama yung sistema mo, the other things will follow. Ang problema, ang COMELEC doesn't want to follow the law.
And let's ask the politician here. Do we have the political will already to accept automated elections, probably with a system that works if the law is followed? What do you think, sir?
Well, this is the second time that we're having an automated election, and doubts have been raised. Even in the 2010 election, doubts had already been raised. So, it's now being brought to the fore. Pinag-uusapan uli yan, yung mga doubts na yan, yung mga questions na yan. So, kinakailan tapusin na yung mga questions niya, sagutin na talaga up to the Supreme Court and the Commission on Elections, and let this be discussed openly, so we can arrive at a consensus on where we proceed from here on. In other countries, automated election is being used. And other countries, also advanced countries, have reverted to manual counting. You see, the experiences of countries differ from. And we are going through our own experience, so let's confront the problem head-on immediately after this election.
Okay. Si Jarius, ito ba cultural na sa atin, the problems that, are we still in the past, despite the fact that we are in an automated era, are we still approaching these elections with the same old mindset that we used to have, o hindi magbabago unless magbago yung political literacy at kultura natin?
Kailangan din baguhin yung kultura kasi yung for instance sa vote buying, bakit nagkakaroon pa rin ng vote buying in spite of automation? Kasi may pagkakataon pa rin na ma-ensure mo yung kandidato, may pagkakataon pa rin ma-ensure na matutupad yung gusto niya sa pandaraya. Pakukunan niya ng pasimple sa cellphone yung balota para ma-ensure na na binoto siya at saka niya babayaran ngayon yung botante. O kaya babayaran ka para hindi ka na sumipot sa presinto, mamarkahan ka na lang nila, titintahan na lang nila ng indelible ink yung daliri mo. Lalo na kung alam nila dito sa barangay na to, puro mga kalaban nila ito. Tsaka meron pa rin kasi tumatanggap Yun naman sa club Doon ako nabigla sa COMELEC. naman ito, hindi naman, walang personalan nito, pero nagulat ako na nanawagan siya na, sige, pag kami nanuhol sa inyo, tanggapin nyo. Tapos iboto nyo pa rin yung kursunada nyo. Tama ba yun? Mali di ba? Dapat, para mo na rin sinabing, pag may nagbebenta sa inyo ng nakaw na gamit, tanggapin nyo, pero huwag nyong bayaran kaya. Para madalayan mo, yung fence na yan. Di ba? Mali
Well, Professor Surin, if it has so many problems, do you think the COMELEC is sidestepping the issues and the problems that is faced by the system, given what you know? Do you think they're...
There are only two possibilities. Either they are incredibly incompetent or they are deliberately malicious. I don't think they are that incompetent. So, you know, this issue of the source code, no? It's as if when they open the ballot box in a manual system, it's as if they say, okay, dyan lang kayo sa isang tabi, bibilangin namin, hindi namin papakita sa inyo, no? Sasabihin na lang namin sa inyo kung ano yung resulta. No? If that happened in a manual election, I think all the candidates would revolt. No? But that is exactly what is happening now. No? If I were a candidate now in this system, why should I accept the results of the COMELEC? The count is completely opaque.
Sir?
Ang pinag-uusapan natin yung procedure at saka system sa eleksyon, no? Sa akin may isang malaking issue na dapat ang mahalagang question, may pagbabago ba sa buhay ng tao pagkatapos ng eleksyon?
Kayo po.
Sa aking palagay, hanggang ang istruktura ng ating lipunan ay marami pa rin ang sabihin na natin, ang hindi nakapag-aral, marami ang walang trabaho, marami naghihirap. Sa isang demokrasya, pagka ganito ang sitwasyon, madaling manipula ang resulta ng eleksyon in favor of those who have money and who have powers. And I think that's the greatest challenge that is being faced by our country. Ang poverty incidence natin since 2006, according to the National Statistical Coordination Board, 28 to 29% pa rin. Pero ito, pangatlong election from 2006. Nireview ko yung poverty incidence before 2006 at ang dami ng eleksyon na nakaraan. Halos ganun pa rin ang poverty in this country. Kaya ang eleksyon, to many people, yung eleksyon fiesta time ito Fiesta time. Yung panahon na may magbibigay ng bigas, magbibigay ng pera. Kasi wala naman daw pagbabago sa kanilang buhay.
Which is perhaps one of the next issues we'd like to talk about when we return from this break. We will ask our guests, has the Filipino changed and is he ready for a new way of electing, or are we still trapped in the same old ways of doing things? That when we return. Ang aking question siguro sa ating tatlong bisita dito what now? Ano nga abangan ko yung pagsara ng eleksyon? Anong magic? Anong good things? Bad things? What should we anticipate at this? So given all the problems, Professor, ikaw muna.
Well, when the polls close, what we should be looking for next is the transmission, because we expect that there will be problems with the transmission. As in 2010, many of the problems came from the transmission. And that particular problem is aggravated by the fact that there are no personal digital signatures. So you can send returns from anonymous machines. And the canvassing server will not distinguish. There is no way of authenticating. Without personal digital signatures, there is no way of authenticating that it came from this election inspector, this precinct, and that it was not altered in transmission. So, again, because of COMELEC's insistence on not implementing personal digital signatures, we have no way of verifying or authenticating. The results will come out, and there's no way we can question it. Yun ang masakit dun because the mechanisms are not there.
And this is your concern, Jarius, na yung feeling mo dapat ang sistema, okay, fine, automated, pero kailangan open pa rin yung pagtatala ng... You still want to go back to that? What do you suggest?
Ang suggestion ni former COMELEC Commissioner Gus Lagman, magkaroon ng parallel manual count hindi naman ito yung tulad nung dati na napakababagal dahil may mga nagpo-protestang abogado.
Yung isa-isa, Asurin, Bondo,
Hindi, pero dito, ang hinahingi naman niya is, kung wala na yung nagpo-protesta, checkin lang naman kung ano ang, kung naging pareho yung bilang ng makina at saka bilang ng tao na hindi malaki ang variance. Di ba? Siyempre kasi may ibang, given yun na magkaibang appreciation eh. Yung inekis, baka sabihin ng manual counter, o tunay ito dahil binoto niya ito pero hindi binilang nung PICOS dahil X lang, hindi initiman yung buong bilog, di ba? Pero that would have been a good check. Tapos saka mo i-automate yun and canvassing. Ang nangyayari, ang pang-ano sana dyan is the random manual audit naman, which was, it's a nasa batas din yan. Noong 2010, 5 precinct cluster sa bawat congressional district. This time around, isa lang precinct cluster ang ginawa ng COMELEC per congressional district. Ang masaklap pa doon, pinili na nila 4 days ago at in-announce 2 days ago. So, nawala yung randomness, yung element of surprise. Parang, sige, yan yung mga, yung 238 precincts na mag-RMA, magra-random manual audit, siguraduhin natin na walang dayaan dyan, ha? Doon sa iba na lang tayo mandaya. There are thousands of other clusters where we can, diba? Parang ganun eh.
Well, okay. Now, are you happy you're not a candidate right now, Mr. Joey Lina, that you don't have to go through this again? But I like your point about more than the elections.
Yeah.
What does this impact? I like all the campaigns saying, pagbabago, bumoto dahil may pagbabago. But you're saying right now, based on statistics and everything else, that nothing really much has changed. I heard this afternoon that the only thing we had left is really hope in every election. What do you think?
At the end of the day, kailangan natin trabaho para sa ating mga kababayan. Sapat na trabaho, edukasyon, kalusugan. Kapag yan ay na-deliver ng mga kandidato na nanalo, na nagpromiso sa taong bayan, ay may pag-asa. Pero kung hindi naman nila gagampanan din yung kanilang tungkulin, matamis lang ang dila pagkapanahon ng eleksyon at nagbibigay na maraming pangako, ay di wala ring saysay itong eleksyon na ito. Piesta lang itong eleksyon. Kung walang pagbabago.
Kaya may nagbebenta nga ng boto, Sed. Kasi yung mga maraming mahihirap, they feel alienated from the system. Wala naman nangyayari pagbabago sa buhay nila. So they might as well make money during the election.
Okay.
Ibenta na lang yung boto.
Temporary joy.
At tuwan-tuwa naman bilhin niya nung dynast. Yung political dynast. Yun ang tuwan-tuwa. It's a major ngayon, na naging issue itong political dynasties. Para sa akin, malaking bagay ito.
Sige nga, let's try this. Okay.
Ang problema nga lang is, by the time na pumutok na yung dynasty issue, nakapag-file na, ang dami ng unopposed dynasts, di ba? Sa mga probinsya, sa mga congressional districts. So sila pa rin, tiyak na yan. Sa mga local, Pero ang problema rito, sana, after the elections, ituloy-tuloy. Kanina during the gap, binabanggit ni Senator Joey, di ba, na sana merong isang segment of the enlightened, yung enlightened middle class to organize the people. Sana nga meron ganon. Para ituloy-tuloy, between elections, ituloy-tuloy yung campaign against political dynasties. Puwersahin na yung Kongreso magpasa ng batas, implementing law, para ma-implement na yung nasa Constitution.
Chain reaction ba ito? Yung political dynasties, patronage politics, the way we run our elections, the fiesta of the elections.
Dahil
all kabit-kabit.
Dahil sila nilang, yung dumi sa gobyerno, nandoon din. Sila rin yung nagko-control ng pondo ng gobyerno dahil pagtatakpan mo pumalit ka rin sa tatay mo bilang mayor o governor. Lahat ng kabulukan na ginawa niya rin, pagtatakpan mo, uulitin mo pa. Magnanakaw ka pa.
But why is the common answer of those who come from dynasties? Gusto namin ipatuloy ang serbisyo ng aming pamilya. Why is that the common line? There are good work, I assume, but That seems to be the common line. Gusto lang namin ito. You have this nice smile, Jarius. What?
Parang parang nung panahon ni Marcos, sabi, ang laki ng progreso nung panahon ni Marcos. Sinasagot naman ng mga kritiko, 2 dekada nakaupo yan, pag wala namang ginawa yan, ewan ko na. Di ba? Ganon din tong dynasties.
I guess so.
100, ano yung pag-aaral ng PCIJ, Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism? Many of these dynasties have been in power, in controlling political life since the last two decades of the Spanish
And these are in different
regime.
provinces throughout this country.
Yes, so there are only about a little over 100 political dynasties na panahon, last 2 decades of the
And I'm going to
Spanish
ask the
sila
question
eh.
that Veronica Baluyat asked her guests this afternoon. Why is in the United States, when you mentioned Bush, Kennedy, and the like, there seems to be no problem with that, with the dynasty of the Kennedys. And they were always painted as Camelot, very mystical. That seemed to be the image. There seems to be no problem with such dynasties. But why is it suddenly such an issue here?
Hindi, dito sa atin talaga eh. Yung mayor, vice mayor, mag-asawa, magkapatid, may konsehal pa. Pero doon sa Amerika, hindi naman ganun ang sitwasyon. Yung isa senator of a state. Yung isa governor.
Si Jeff.
So at saka magkaiba pang lugar.
Florida yung isa.
Like
Magkaiba.
Bush was the one son was in Florida,
The one
right?
is in Texas.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
magkaiba naman
And the
yung
old man was Massachusetts.
ibang klase. Pero yung political dynasty, yan ay reflection lang ng ating lipunan. Kapag 20% lang ng iyong populasyon, iyong populasyon ang nagkokontrol ng 80% ng kayamanan ng bansa at yung 80% naghahagilap doon sa 20% na natitira, yan ang magiging itsura ng iyong politika.
Okay,
para lang doon sa mga nako-concentrate yung economic at saka political power
Okay.
in the hands of a few. And since they control the economic power, they control political power, edi yung iba, marginalized na the rest of society. Mahirap makapasok.
But therefore, going back to the issue of the computerization, the automation of the elections, will we ever ma-achieve ba natin sa bayan natin, o matatagalan pa tayo, na maging mas issues-oriented ng diskusyon? O is it still personality-based, gaya itong issue ng automation? Sinasantabi na lang ng tao, kasi hindi I'll go to Professor, then I'll get back to you, sir.
Well, the issues raised by Senator Joey and Jarius regarding the situation in the country, the control of the bulk of the nation's resources by privileged few, this is admittedly a problem. I've written 2 books about this, but I think for now, the fundamental thing is that the reason you have this kind of situation where the COMELEC arrogantly dismisses any critics of its actions is a reflection of the fact that a certain small elite control power in this country, and with this they can dismiss any suggestions or any moves for some kind of reform. And the way Brillantes and his complicit commissioners are acting, it's as if they don't have to follow the law. They can do what they want.
Jarius and...
I remember nung bagong upo pa lang si Chairman Sixto Brillantes Jr., one of his first statements is, there's nothing wrong with our electoral system. All it needs is strong enforcement. Sabi ko nga, dismayado ako, sabi ko, patay. Walang reforma tayo maasahan under his...
Because, naramdaman mo?
Yung sinabi niya mismo, wala raw mali eh. Wala raw mali sa sistema.
Parang hindi kakalikutin,
Oo, hindi niya gagalawin. Hindi niya to begin with, yung anti-dynasty, hindi, wala pang batas. Although that's not a COMELEC job, pero sana, nag-campaign siya sa Kongreso, ipasa na tayo ng batas dito para natin.
A little more proactivity
Oo,
on
yung
the part
ganun
of outcome.
So sabi ko, wala kayo maasahang reforma.
Before we go into this break, Sir
Sa anumang bayan, may lumalabas na yung mga bayani. Ay dapat yung mga magpakabayani, yung mga enlightened sector of our society, yung nakakaintindi, nakakaunawa ng mga problema natin. At sila ang talagang magpresenta ng solusyon, kung pwede sila kumandidato, edi kumandidato sila. Sapagkat kung yung elite natin, hindi naman lahat ng elite na ay masasama at hindi nag-iisip ng kagandahan ng bayan. Pero sa anumang bayan, lumalabas din, may mga bayani na mangunguna So dapat after this election, wag na tayong tumigil. Mag-organize. At saka sa elementary pa lang, kinakailangan itinuturo na yung citizenship eh. Elementary, high school, idein yun na you are government and then you should not sell your vote. You really have to, if you have the leadership quality, you present yourself to the people. Huwag kayong matakot mag-organize. And it can be done. And then yung mga legislators, pressure natin, ilabi natin, maglabi tayo. Oy, mag-start kayo na nga ng panukalang batas na huwag naman tayong tagasalulang ng mga imported goods na kinakailangan dito sa ating bayan, magkaroon tayo ng mga industries para mas marami tayong trabaho. So, kilusan ng bayan ang kailangan.
Magkakambal na problema kasi political dynasty tsaka yung pork barrel and corruption.
That's another issue altogether. We will need the entire evening to talk about these things. But we're just beginning to wax hot here. We're just beginning to bring out many issues. Like, for instance, participation po na babanggit ni Senator Lina. Like, was the youth more participative because of social media or were they just not in that involved? I don't know the answer. We'll probably find out when we return dito po sa Hatol ng Bayan. We're talking about many issues that came up during the course of this election. The automation, our political literacy, our political maturity, our cultural layers as well. We have probably our last gap together, gentlemen. Where do we go from here? The polls have closed, the results will come out. Professor Azurin, what is your move given the data? I know you don't want to speculate because you'd like to have the hard data with you. But where are you going to take this now that things that you know about what happened and probably the lessons that we learned in 2010 that we did not capitalize on and did not implement in 2030? Where do you go from here?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the indications are that as far as PCOS and the glitches and the problems are concerned, it looks worse today, 2013, than 2010. I said those are indications because we don't have the final thing yet, and we still have to deal with the transmission, in which we foresee many problems. No? So that's why I don't want to mention that first. But as I also said earlier, these are surface problems, no? And the more fundamental problem is that there is absolutely no transparency in this election because there is no way for the public to verify, validate, or authenticate the count. And so, as I was saying earlier, if I were a candidate, why should I accept what COMELEC is saying as the result when there is no way of authenticating it? And the fact is that the counting was not public. The public had no access to the count. No? So I think, as I mentioned during the break, I think this will spawn a lot of suits, particularly from losing candidates, who can legitimately challenge this election on the basis of the fact that COMELEC did not follow specific explicit provisions of the poll automation law. So I think there is a legitimate ground to challenge the validity of this election. And I think that will come from losing candidates, obviously, but I think this will cause a problem for all of us.
Salamat po. Jarius, ano nakikita mo pagkatapos itong sara na eleksyon? Ano pa ang hindi natin natutunan? Anong hindi nating nagawa na kinagawa pa rin natin na tila ata nakakainis kuminsan na parang hindi tayo nag-grow o kung may nakikita kang iba?
Kasi we need to reform our electoral system. No? Yung tulad nga niyan, bakit sila na lang ang pabalik-balik na lang sa pwesto? Hindi na nakakapasok yung mga bagong tsaka mga reformista na kokontrol na ng mga political dynasties, di ba? Kailangan baguhin na natin yung sistema yan kasi from there kasi pagkatapos ng election, the same dynasty steal from the government to maintain their wala naman silang alam na hanap buhay kung hindi politika hanap buhay na sa kanila yan kaya nga ang bansa natin hindi umuunlad dahil sa ganyan system.
Have we done enough sa media? Do we need to do more? What do you think?
Hindi pag ganun kasi tulad niya na-amplify ng gusto ngayong election na ito, yung political dynasties. Pero andyan pa rin sila pa rin yung kumandid. Ang daming ang post Di ba? Mananalo tiyak dahil post. elections, kailangan nga yung ma-organisa sana yung taong bayan na ituloy-tuloy ito.
Or are you hopeful, as an observer of life and politics, are you hopeful of the Philippines?
Oo. May mga pagbabago na mabagal nga lang. There are certain reforms that take a decade. Meron mga iba, mabilis. Depende rin sa namumuno eh. Sana nga yung COMELEC, matamaan na ngayon na magising sa katotohanan na kailangan talagang baguhin itong sistema natin. Not only the automation system, but the electoral system.
Okay, thank you very much. And Senator Lina, you were pounding on the point that unless we do magkaroon ng pagbabago sa pamamaraan ng hanap buhay sa atin, hindi talaga magkakaroon ng pagbabago sa ating kultura at sa pamamaraan nating mag-stage ng mga eleksyon. Anything specific? Is it industrialization that is the key to our country's economic success?
Yan ang naging karanasan ng mga bansa. Kahit ng United States, na dati ay kolonya lang ng England, ay nag-industrialize para yung kanilang growing labor force ay ma-accommodate sa mga industries. Bagamat ang gusto ng England, manatili ang US as an agricultural economy. Yan din ang ginawa rin ng Germany. Nag-industrialize din sila. Yan ang ginawa ng Japan dito sa Asia. Yan ang ginawa ng India, ng Taiwan, ng Malaysia. Ngayon, ginagawa na ng Indonesia.
No.
So, kapag ang ating ekonomiya mananatiling agricultural at gusto nating lumampas kaagad dun sa services na ang nai-employed lang ay mga college graduates like yung outsourcing, ay maraming magiging unemployed and underemployed. At pagka ganito ang sitwasyon, ang poverty incidence natin pare-pareho rin. Kaya kahit anong eleksyon ang dumating, ang poverty incidence natin almost 30% of the entire population. Pagka ganito karami ang mahihirap at walang pagbabago sa kanilang buhay, ang tingin nila sa eleksyon piyesta lang eh. Ngayon, anong solusyon dito? Yung enlightened middle class, they can transcend their class. They can transcend their own interest. At dyan pwedeng kumuha ng mga magpapakabayani para sa bayan. Kasi ng ekonomiya. Meron namang mahalal na senador. They can transcend their own class. They can present bills on how and that will become laws on how we can create more jobs and livelihood opportunities in this country. Huwag na tayo sumunod dun sa free trade policy na ginagawa ng kasalukuyan. Bagamat meron pinoproteksyonan din tayong investments dito na Pilipino, but by and large, free trade ito sa atin. By 2015, bubuksan na natin ang Pilipinas dito sa Asian Free Trade Zone na lahat ng halos ang goods dito, pasok na. Wala nang tariff. Yung mga advanced countries, talagang sa Asia, lulunurin tayo ng mga industrial goods dito, and ang trabaho nandun sa mga manufacturing countries.
Let me ask a seemingly innocent question. The voter who got to vote today and who has this mark, hindi yun na disenfranchised, regardless, average Filipina, and to each one, please answer. What is he or she thinking right now? Now that the votes have been closed, are they concerned? What are their concerns now that the elections are over? What is foremost in their mind? Professor Sorin.
It's hard to say what they would be concerned about, but if I were the one, I would be concerned about whether my vote was counted. I didn't vote. Mainly because
Of the system, I understand. But do you think that was enough to assure them, lumabas yung, di ba? Ang common expression, lumabas yung boto ko, binasa ng Picos, okay na sa kanila. But they're more concerned with...
Well, I think many of them might believe that their vote was counted. I would disagree with them.
Okay.
No?
Jarius, what was the average Juan de la Cruz or Filipina thinking tonight?
Yung binoto niya, magkatotoo nga, yun din ang manalo. Kasi behind, siyempre, yung mga binoboto mo, pwera na yung na ano ka dahil celebrity, artista factor, May mga binoto ka dahil alam mo, may kosa, may matinong plataforma, Yan, nananalig ngayon yung botante na sana maisulong ito. Pag nanalo siya, maisulong sana ito.
Sana makalusot kahit pa paano. And, Senator Lina?
Pagka may bagong political exercise, may residue naman na may pag-asa eh. Ganon. Pero after a while, mawawala na. Babalik na naman dun sa kailan uli ang eleksyon, magpipiesta na naman tayo. So, ano iniisip? Yung mga bagong graduates. Tatanong nila sa sarili na, magkakaroon kaya ako ng trabaho. Ano? O kaya, mag-a-abroad na lang ako kasi wala naman trabaho dito sa atin. Hanggat hindi natin nababago ang ekonomiya ng ating bansa at hindi tayo makapag-create ng jobs and livelihood opportunities, and as long as many more people are not able to see a doctor when they get sick, or have medicine, access to
Hospitalization.
medicine, yung pag-asang unti-unting mawawala hanggang sa mawala na talaga yung pag-asa. But I am hopeful that because in any given society, katulad nun, panahon nila Rizal, panahon nila Bonifacio, panahon ng digmaan World War II, may mga bayani namang lumilitaw.
Yep.
Kaya ina-encourage natin yung enlightened sector of our society to take up the cudgels for the entire society. At ayun, may pag-asa, may malaki ang aking pag-asa na sa ating buhay, mangyayari yon at magkakaroon ng bago.
I have no idea of the age variable here, but we more or less seem to come from the same generation, and we're hopeful.
Hope springs eternal.
Yeah, we hope springs eternal, and we are hopeful for our children. But it's an interesting can of interesting worms that we opened up here today as the elections draw to a close. And many issues came out in our discussion with Professor Rene Asurin, Jairus Bondok, and former Senator Joey Lina, that the elections are not just about casting your vote, but many other issues that are involved. We are thankful that you could join us here in Hatol ng Bayan and share your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
we shall be right back. Babalik po ang Hatol ng Bayan para malaman kung ano yung hatol.